Hey, welcome to A Job Seeker Asks. I'm Scott Engler. I am an author, public speaker, and coach on career transition and contemporary job search strategies. So today's question comes from Kevin in Orange County. And Kevin asks, "Hi Scott, I hear all sorts of different advice and schools of thought about what the proper etiquette is for contacting or not contacting people on LinkedIn that are in high-level positions at the companies that I'm interested in working for. What is your take on this?" Great question. So I thought about it some more because I do get this type of question so often, and what I felt would be most useful to share today would be 3 instances where I was not only able to connect with the owners of the companies I wanted to work for, and this is back in my job searching days as a mental health clinician, but I was actually able to get interviewed by all 3 of them. So I looked at 3 common denominators that stood out to me in each one of these situations, and that's what I'm going to share with you today. The one thing I do want to very briefly touch on is that as much as people always want to hear, it's always okay to contact the owner, it's never okay, it's okay to say this always, it's never, that's not the way life works, in my opinion, at all. My experiences show differently. So it's contextual, it's case by case, but I'm just going to share with you what worked for me in these 3 instances and the common denominators that I noticed. The first one was, in all 3 of these situations, me and the owner were already connected on LinkedIn before I reached out to them. And so in these situations, I had connected with them. I think we even had mutual connections because most of them were in areas that I lived in. The long story short is I was already connected with them. The second thing is that I had really followed and done my research on these companies and really enjoyed what they were about before even thinking to connect with them. In one case, I remember I had been following the company for close to 2 years, and it was because they wrote this daily blog that I just loved. And so by the time I reached out to the owner, I had already been connected with one of his co-founders and someone else that was high up in the company because I love the writing so much that I reached out to him. I was like, I just gotta say, I love your guys' blogs. I'm a writer as well. It really stands out to me. This is what I like about it. You know, let me know if I could share or anything, you know, just because, one writer or another. So we already had that connection. And that was the second thing that really stood out, is that I had done my research. The third thing that when I thought some more about it, was in every one of these scenarios, my introduction was very casual. And one of the reasons when I'm looking back on it is none of these companies actually had a for hire or looking for on their website. So I really didn't know if there was any open positions, and therefore it was kind of silly to say like, hey, I want a job, hire me, right? So I really just approached it very organically, and I'd say something along the lines of, hey, so-and-so, I love your company, I love this and this about them, I've been following you guys and reading your articles and blogs. And so, I just graduated with my intern, and I've worked for some companies I really didn't like so much, and I've just seen so much stuff out there, but I really do vibe with you guys. I didn't use the word vibe, but you get it. And I just wanted to know if you guys were looking for any more strong male therapists that are Spanish speaking proficient, and if not now, is that something that you might be looking for in the future? Maybe we could connect on the phone and just talk about it some. And lo and behold, every time I'd get a response, and they were more than willing to talk to me on the phone. So I got 3 interviews by the owner. Unfortunately, even though we had great interviews, they were only looking for licensed clinicians. I did get hired on as a freelancer to one of these cases, which I share sometimes, which is kind of cool. I got a different job than the job I was interviewed for. But the point is in all these situations, those were the 3 common denominators that I found when I was able to connect with the owners of the companies I wanted to work for and be interviewed by them. So I hope that is useful information for you guys. Remember, take some action today, and best of luck to all of you in the advancement of your career. Thank you.